Excuse me, Your Honor. I would like to bring something to the podcast's attention.
Hand those glasses to the bailiff.
All right.
And those.
Oh.
Traumatic childhood.
You needed those. You really did.
Which is proof means death for us all.
Up yours, children.
Why does mine look like that?
And we never did.
Welcome to No Kids 3 Money, a Simpsons podcast through the lens of time. I'm 1/3 of your host this week, Ned.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Mitch.
Yes, back again.
Spectacular.
It's a pleasure to be here, Quasty.
Get ready for fun.
It depends what you mean by quithus.
Yes, I would, Ned.
What do we have in store for the people this week, Matt?
Alrighty. We have seasons 1, 10, and 20. Last episode of season 1 and episode 13 of each season.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Never gets old.
Oh, the best.
Butter! We caught the babysitter Bennett. She's tied up at our house right now. Ask if there's a reward. Is there a reward? If she's convicted, we get t-shirts. Yeah!
How come all the lights are on?
I don't like the looks of this.
Miss Potts.
Miss Potts!
Oh,
Good Lord, what have those little hellions done now? We're so sorry. We're so sorry.
Please turn off the TV.
Alrighty, why don't you hit us with a synopsis for season 1, episode 13?
Yep. Titled Some Enchanted Evening. Synopsis reads, Homer takes Marge out for a night on the town to make up for his recent neglecting of her, leaving the kids with a sinister babysitter who has a diabolical secret.
Yes.
My first note sort of pertains to the whole episode. So it was the first episode produced for the season and was intended to air as a series premiere in fall 1989, but aired as the season 1 finale due to animation problems.
Interesting. What kind of animation problems?
All of them. No, I think they outsourced animation to Korea.
Indestructible. Oh no, in fact, even a slight breeze could.
And yeah, they got the animation back and it all looked fucked, apparently.
Is that why some of them look all janky and the backgrounds are shit? Or is that just season 1?
Yeah,
I
probably
think
a
it
bit of
might be
both.
partial to season 1, but I do recall what you were talking about. I noticed that the first scene where the babysitter turns up, a lot of her animation is extremely fluid.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
yeah.
it's just very strange the way that it the way that she's sort of like portrayed moving, and just the things that happen sort of throughout the entire episode. It's quite the animation feels like Disneyfied. Be like the best way to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her anatomy's just like all wrong. Like,
Yeah,
she's
it's
got a
so weird.
Massive gut.
Who voiced that character? Do you have that in your notes?
I do.
Yes.
Go, Mitch.
Oh, I forgot the name, but it was whoever played Laverne in Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, Penny Marshall.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Who the fuck that is?
So she was the first
Who's the
official.
guy from Laverne and Shirley here? Nobody's watching, you punks.
She was the
Essence
first
of
official
TV
guest.
is drama. That's what I gave him his taser.
Yeah, overall, I felt like season 1 was building up to a nice end, and this one was good in parts, but maybe wasn't as good as some of the other episodes
Yeah.
from this season.
My first note is Bill Pye wasn't as funny as Artie, apparently.
Yeah, the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
It went with Bill Pye in the sky, and I was like, yeah, I can see why they changed that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
And he has like vaguely the same voice, but it's like also just like not as good, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good starting point.
sort of seems like he could have dropped out of the air at any point in his helicopter and no one would have really cared, and they would have just replaced him with Arnie.
Yeah, because now that I'm thinking about it, did they actually like show anybody, or was it just a voice?
Just a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So I hadn't actually given form to the character as it was yet.
It was like super nasally and represented what Arnie became.
But not really like high toned or anything like that.
Yeah. They sort of put it on steroids.
Yes. What have you got, Mitchell?
I don't know.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, I only wrote down quotes that I thought was funny.
Yep.
When because everyone leaves the house and then Marge is home doing all the chores and stuff, and then the radio psychologist Marvin Monroe, and he gets an ad out, and then she calls in.
Yeah, yep.
Our number is 555 pain. And then I also have this.
And my problem is my husband. He doesn't listen to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't appreciate me. I don't know how much more of this I can...
Hey, lady, save your whining for when you're on the air, okay?
Yeah,
Just also doesn't want to listen to her shit.
yeah. Would I write something funny thing that she said? Yeah, he was 40 pounds thinner and ate with utensils.
Then like when she's talking to Marvin Monroe on the air, and it's like he's trying to convince her about his theory being correct, and she's like, "Are you sure about that?" And he's like, "I'm sure as of it is, I'm as sure of fuck me." I'm as sure of it as I'm sure my voice is annoying.
yeah.
Which yeah, it actually is. Now that you've like he sort of brings it up, I was like, his voice is annoying.
Yeah, it's another episode basically pointing out Homer's neglect and lack of care for anyone but himself, which has been evident throughout the whole season so far.
Yeah.
They've built him up to be like a careless prick.
For lack of a better term, yes.
Yeah. I assume that's probably why Bart calls him Homer instead of Dad.
No respect.
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't actually like noticed that. No, wait, he does call it. Oh no, yeah, you're right. He does just call him Homer, doesn't he?
For the most part, yeah.
The animation continuity of there being no stain on the driveway when it's raining is nice.
Right.
Which is
okay.
interesting that you mentioned straight up the top that the animation for this episode was fucked, because maybe that was a like maybe if we move forward into later seasons, there probably will be an oil stain on the driveway while it's raining. So maybe that was one of those animation fuck ups you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, true. Or like for some reason the oil stain actually stains it instead of disappears. Maybe the start of the oil was at the beginning of this season.
Well,
for
oil
whatever
and water
reason.
don't mix, so you can't wash oil stains away with water.
I put it there.
Brilliant. Good times.
Yeah, context-wise, sort of after Marge calls in Marvin Monroe, he basically tells her to confront Homer as soon as he gets home and lay it on him or leave, essentially. And then he sort of bides his time before he goes home and goes to Moe's instead and is sitting there just wasting time.
Which I found was like the comment that Mo makes about like, geez, Homer, you usually like come in here and have one or two beers and then you go home was interesting again, because it's like, oh, they hadn't sort of decided that, like we were going to, like it looked like early on, obviously, as you mentioned, that there's been a lot of episodes that sort of relate towards Homer sort of failing as not only a father, but as a husband kind of thing. It was interesting to me that they hadn't really decided to associate the, character trait of him spending all of his time at Moe's, which is like, if you look in the later seasons, he kind of is one of those fathers that just like finishes work, then goes to the bar until like fucking, I can't remember what episode is it where it's the Pen Pals episode. Where like he's sitting there and he's like, well, it's 11 p.m. Better get home to the wife and kids. And then he like grabs Mo and he's like, please, there's got to be somewhere else we can go.
That's right. So good. And another scene when he's in Moe's as well, is it the first time that a pickled egg has ever been eaten in Moe's?
I think so, yeah.
Because he gets Mo to pass him the whole jar.
Yeah.
Does he only eat them when he's sad or something? Jar, please.
I suppose that's what it was trying to imply.
Yeah. He's so sad that he'll eat from that
Yeah.
disgusting jar.
Yeah, and then like he's already sad, and then Mo continues to just like tell him about how he's a pig.
That's right.
You're a pig. Barney's a pig. Yeah, you're more of a pig than me.
Yeah. We get like a real awful front-facing Mo. In that
Oh
scene
yeah,
as well.
I did write that down. Like just a long ass. Like I think it was one of those things. It's like the front-facing animation is generally just like sort of cursed as it is.
Yeah.
But it sort of really portrayed that fact that they're like trying to make Mo this ugly character.
Yeah.
True.
I may be ugly and hate-filled, but what was that third thing you said? Finally, just Kid Mo.
Kid presentable. There were. What do you got, Mitch?
Oh, no, just my shit notes that I have. Mo has black hair. Barney's blonde.
Yeah. Yeah. Does not look right at all.
Yeah.
There was. I thought it was pretty good when Marge was waiting at the door for Homer. She stands there for literally hours, just like, just building up rage, and just sounded like a crazed animal. By the time he eventually got home.
Yeah. What do the kids say to him? To Marge, and then she sort of does like the lion roar.
They all walk up to her with plates, but I think Maggie's was already like standing there at some point in time as well. Which I'll like sort of bring up later on in the episode as well. But yeah, they walk up to her with plates and like, "Hey, Mom, when's dinner?" And yeah, she turns around and does that fucking noise at them, which was another one of those like sort of animation moments that I noticed that was like sort of like janky isn't the way to describe it, because I would more describe like animation in the later seasons as janky, which gives it a bit more of a real life feel as opposed to like that real fluid animation that is shown a lot in this episode. It gives it a real you feel like you're watching a cartoon, which sometimes I forget that I'm doing when I'm watching The Simpsons, because it's like I've mentioned before, once they started to move into the later seasons, they started to move away from like ridiculous scenarios. It was essentially just an animated sitcom, as opposed to like some of the other cartoons that do just like you look at like South Park that was airing at the same point in time, and that was just based on the most ridiculous premise that it could like possibly be for every single episode. Whereas these are sort of based a bit more in reality and like sort of tackle real world issues to some degree, or like things that could, even with the crazy amount of circumstances that they lead through to go on their adventures, these things could feasibly happen in our universe. Is my point.
Yeah. They've made the human element stay strong throughout all of The Simpsons.
Yes.
And mildly relatable. You could sort of work with someone that reminds you of Homer quite easily. And there's heaps of kids like Bart.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The second mention of my real name in the episode. I can't remember what part it was now, but do either of you guys?
No, I remember making a mental note, but it's been multiple days, so I've forgotten.
It's gone.
The only time I ever remember
It's still good. It's still good.
the only time I remember your actual name coming up was when Bart has like all those things wrong with him, and he's got like the lice treatment in his hair. Get this man some boiled eggs and some prune juice.
I like how you didn't say it.
Yeah, you're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Even though it comes up literally on the podcast.
Yes.
Name. No Kids 3 Money.
Oh yeah, it does too, doesn't it?
Yep.
Fuck me. I need to change that somehow.
Just use your middle
I'll
name.
never escape it. Oh yeah, heaps better. Actually, probably significantly better now that I think about it.
Can we say that? I don't know what it
It's
is.
just
We can cut this bit out. Which
Lawrence.
we won't. Or
Okay.
Larry, as he like to be called.
Oh, fucking hell. Which is great because Nick's an avid listener. His last name is Laurie.
That's true.
Get that up,
My next sort of note here is that the babysitting service that Marge calls has like some fucking like 10-prong name when the old lady answers it.
yeah.
Baby bubba rubber bubby, like whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
It's like alliteration to the max.
Yeah.
And they have all the Simpsons children's mug shots on the wall already, and they're the only ones up there.
Yeah.
And who would have babysitters literally sitting around like it's a doctor's office?
Waiting.
Yeah.
That is weird. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Mr. Sampson.
Did you say Simpson? No. We're neighbors of theirs.
And that was a nice little animation thing there where she's talking about like how there are animals and like especially the father. Yeah. An ape. And he just like his face just gradually turns more gorilla like.
Yeah. And I think after they acquire the babysitter, Homer goes upstairs to the bathroom and begins shaving. It's the first time we've seen the recurring 5 o'clock shadow immediately.
Oh yeah, because that happens like
Every time
numerous
he
times,
shaves.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how we shave.
Straight away. His outfit was real weird when he was walking out the door. I didn't write that down, but I did notice that. And then that's where my like Maggie note comes up again, her being weirdly intelligent again for a 1-year-old, sort of having the, might be skipping ahead a little bit here, but do we really have many scenes with Homer and Marge? It's just them sort of at dinner fucking around and then
In the hotel room later on.
yeah, but then there's I'm trying to think of the one in between with the kids. That's right. She makes them watch the Happy Little Elves,
Yep.
puts Maggie to bed, and then they start watching America's. It's not Most Wanted. What's it called?
Yeah, I've got it.
America's
here.
Armed and Dangerous.
America's Most Armed and Dangerous.
Yes.
Most.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know the scene you're referring to with Maggie later on in the episode.
Yeah, well, just the entirety of it, that she's sort of like implied to be this like hyper intelligent or hyper self aware being almost kind of thing. Because it's like it's the more that it happens, the more it's like, as I was speaking about before, that's the only thing that seems extremely unrealistic and cartoonish about the show or the family itself to me. The fact that she sort of has those moments where it's like, a 1-year-old wouldn't be that conscious of their surroundings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe the only thing the Simpson family isn't relatable to.
Yes.
There's kids that are maybe 2 or 3 that can fucking like play the piano and shit like that, but
Yeah, not a 1-year-old that can't speak.
yeah, pulls Homer out of the surf.
Yeah, that's right.
And then slaps him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably one of the first times as well that we see Bart like actually scared. Like he's used to getting his way with all the babysitters, basically saying to Miss Botts that, the normal babysitters usually let us watch all this stuff, and then she basically says that she's going to do something bad to him if he doesn't listen to her, and he sort of shuts up and puts Happy Little Elves back on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he does actually look kind of worried.
Yeah, he's met his match.
Yeah.
No, but that's not the first time that happens either. Well, he doesn't get scared by the other babysitter, but that other one sort of outsmarts him later on. I can't remember what season that would be.
The Mary Poppins one.
No, not that one. There's like a college girl that like turns up for... I'm not even sure how long she's in it for, but she's like dangling the game in front of him and makes him run into the wall.
Yeah, isn't that ends
See,
up
Lisa,
being
men are
Jimbo's
easy.
girlfriend?
No.
Okay, so another babysitter.
Yes.
Right.
So there's been
cycled
several.
through. Yeah.
So Bart's weakness is babysitters, apparently.
Yeah, I thought Miss Botts as a character did look pretty creepy, which was good. Like, gave Home Alone-ish type vibes.
Yeah, 100%. Because that movie would have been big around that period of time.
Maybe a
Would that
little
movie have
later.
even been out at that point in
I
time?
don't think it was out.
Yeah.
Mid-90s.
I think it was 1990. Home Alone, the first Home Alone.
Right.
Yeah.
So this would have
Okay.
been pretty much a year, give or take.
Yeah.
We've got another sort of through line, whole series-wise, is Homer's out to dinner with Marge and he's looking in the lobster tank. We've got another lobster mentioned.
Yeah.
They're just always dining classy.
Yeah.
And a point that I made a couple of weeks ago, they're sort of starting to a little bit more towards Homer being less of this angry dad character and more of this dumb and vacant kind of personality. He's like, oh, I want that one. And the waiter's just like, sir, usually people pick lobsters that aren't floating upside down on top of the tank. It's like, cool.
Defeats the purpose of having a live lobster.
Yeah. Just like, you fucking moron. Do you know anything?
Oh.
Could you touch a live lobster for me? Oh no. My notes. I've only got like 2 more, and one of them has already been brought up. Lots of cursed front animation in this episode, which was pretty much just my like overall theme for it. But just the sign that comes up on the news report. Homer Simpson, local boob.
Yeah.
That was so good. That made me chuckle a fair bit. Which I laughed a fair bit at the start of the episode. Did I write any of those quotes down? Like I said I did? No, I didn't. Oh, no, a few of them. But not as many as I thought I did. But it was a sort of slightly funnier episode overall, which, once again, referring back to the first point that you made about this supposedly supposed to be the pilot episode, you can see why to a degree.
Yeah.
Because it kind of does sort of showcase like Homer and Marge and Bart, Lisa and Maggie all to an equal degree. Like you get
true.
little bits of their character traits in every part of the episode. And then this nice little like, you know, bow right at the end of like them coming home, finding the babysitter and then letting her go. It's actually like a nicely thought out plot.
Yeah. Lisa is like a regular 8-year-old as well in terms of her like state of mind.
Which would make more sense for a pilot episode, in my opinion. Like not coming out really strong and making her this like hyper intelligent, extremely self-aware 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Because they sort of like, if you look at the way that they then, well, once again, maybe it wasn't their intention because this, you know, like you said, the animation fucked up. So maybe they just sort of had to scramble at the last minute and go, oh, okay, this is the way that we're going to organize it. So yeah, maybe if you look at it like this was supposed to be at the start of it, the entire season makes a little bit more sense because they're just sort of introducing everybody as a character and giving them these traits. Then you move on to the second episode, which would be Simpsons roasting over a open fire. That's the name of it. Yeah. Where Lisa has a couple of those moments where she's shown to be sort of really intelligent for her age, but also still has those 8-year-old characteristics attached to her.
Yeah.
Which they sort of completely, well, not completely to a degree, but tend to remove once you come to the later seasons. They just make her like a mini adult, essentially.
Yeah. She's a second Marge.
Yeah.
Sort of when Marge, isn't there. She basically runs a family and ensures that they stay alive.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like that episode comes up maybe in the next couple episodes as well. Is that in season 10?
Which one?
The one where she actually like takes care of the family because Marge breaks her leg.
Oh,
Ski
right.
episode?
Not sure.
Could be.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Have you got anything else?
A couple of quotes that made me chuckle. When Mrs. Botts ties up the kids, it says, "You're a smart boy, Bart. Hope you're smart enough to keep your mouth shut." He isn't.
That's good.
Yeah.
I liked the introduction.
I don't say introduction, I say introduction.
Of the ye old off ramp in.
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh, is that a common, like, does that come up more than once?
yeah, it does early on,
Okay.
and it's also in Hit and Run. So,
Oh, okay, it is too. Yeah.
sick.
You're right.
and I love how like in the episode this week, Homer and Marge are driving there, and then he asks Marge like, "All right, tell me when we're close to the exit," and they're just driven past it. And then it
There
says
it was.
next exit 34 miles.
Yeah. Dad, can we stop at Flickies? No. Next Flickies, like 1,000-something miles.
Which is what happens every road trip with your parents. We stop at Macca's? No.
We've got Macca's at home. Just rissoles.
Yeah.
The only other quote I had written down when the kids call the hotline to tell them that they caught the babysitter bandit. Is there a reward? If she's convicted, we get T-shirts.
Hey. That was good.
And it sort of gives another shade to how stupid Homer is. Like, he comes home. Obviously, you would think sort of Bart gets up to mischief and whatnot, but comes home, the babysitter's hog-tied in front of the TV, and she's like sort of given the treatment that they would torture people with, like having them stare at a TV.
A repetitive
or
image, or a video or something like that.
Yeah. And she's obviously like scarred immediately.
I'm pretty sure that's literally a war crime.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So like waterboarding and shit
It's
like
like
that.
against the Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
We invented that.
I put it there. I slipped it into your psyche as a gag.
I thought as well, before we wrap the episode up, that the scene where Bart is hiding in the basement and
Too late.
anyway, she walks down the stairs in it's like shot in a sinister type of way, like it's backlit under the stairs, so you can just see Bart down there. I thought it was a pretty good quality of animation for a season 1 episode, and they used a real life shot of what would be terrifying to an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old.
Which once again sort of says to me that, like, yeah, this really sticks out as being what they would go with as the pilot episode, because it's like they really just threw everything that they possibly could into it. But then again, now that you think about it, maybe it did look completely fucked to begin with, and there was a lot of things wrong with it. So maybe having that time over the season is what made it as good as it was, because I can probably honestly say it was my favorite episode from the season.
Okay. I think I liked Krusty Gets Framed. That was probably my favorite of the season.
That was a good one, and it was real. It was probably like, second in line.
Yeah.
And it's like it's kind of easy to say because the episodes do just sort of get better. They sort of don't have to spend as much time establishing characters and like being like this is their traits kind of thing, which is like this episode was kind of fluid plot wise the whole way through. They didn't have to spend a lot of time really explaining. Obviously, like there was that opening sequence with Marge sort of explaining her problems to Marvin Monroe on the air, but then they sort of quickly move on to Homer trying to fix the problem and this other part of the plot, which I feel like earlier, like if maybe this did come out as the pilot episode, maybe it wouldn't have been as strong. Maybe they would have gone with something like just Homer and Marge being upset with each other for the entirety of the episode instead of having that sort of evolving plot that they really do.
And I think it was probably a better move releasing a Christmas type of episode as their first one because of when the show aired, which was just before Christmas. Whereas if they were to show like a babysitter killer, a lot of people go away during the holiday season. So you're probably not going to want your kids to watch a show about there being a babysitter in the house that's a murderer on the run.
Yeah.
So
That's not something really strong to open with. Now that you think about it.
doesn't really give the family themselves the spotlight, whereas establishing the family pet in the very first episode, I think, made more sense.
Worked in their favor.
It worked to sort of establish that like this is funny and can be like zany and weird at times, but they did want to establish that it had that family dynamic that everybody could really watch it and sort of like gain something from it to a degree. Because like we've said, they are sort of like all backwards as people in their own way, but they're a family unit at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention like the episode 6 of season 1 that got cut due to bad audio. It was the Bleeding Gums episode. So
Yes.
if people out there are wondering why we didn't cover that one, we did. We just lost it.
Are we going to do it again?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Who wants to know?
I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, apart from the Krusty Gets Framed episode, I think the Bleeding Gums was one of my other favorites of this season.
That was a good one.
Yeah, he's just such a great character and brings like an element of real life music to the show as well.
Yeah, you're right. Like he is a good like a good original character that isn't overplayed to any degree. Like he comes up a fair bit, but he like when do they kill him off? It's like before season 10, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that episode where they...
Which is interesting because James L. Jones died like very recently.
Yeah. That episode that they did, like, and they said, you know, when there was a commercial break, what recent popular Simpsons characters died, and wasn't that Marvin Monroe and Bleeding Gums?
Yeah, probably, or Mr. Largo.
No, Mr. Largo's still in it. I can't remember who the other person is, but you're right. It's like Marvin Monroe and somebody
Wasn't
else.
Bleeding Gums? Nah.
You're wrong. They were never popular.
Yeah. And that was season 4 or something when that happened.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Troy McClure was still alive. Oh, not Troy McClure. When
Yep. The guy.
Phil Hartman.
That's
Phil
it.
Hartman was still alive.
Well, he died during season 10.
Yeah, so it had to be before that, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the end of that chapter.
Max Power, he's the man whose name you'd love to touch, but you mustn't touch. His name sounds good in your ear, but when you say it, you mustn't fear, 'cause his name can be said by anyone.
Max Power.
It's so fucking good. Oh, wait, have we got the slapper? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Good. That's coming up soon. Alrighty. Season 10, episode 13. What do you got for us, buddy?
Titled Homer to the Max. Synopsis reads, a new TV series features a suave and debonair character named Homer Simpson. Homer capitalizes on his new namesake until the character is rewritten to be a bumbling fool. Trying to recapture the positive attention he enjoyed, Homer changes his name to Max Power.
Okay. So the first thing I have written down is something that will be brought up in last week's episode. This is going to be hard now that we have episodes banked because I've got to try and remember what I'm posting. But anyway, I believe you mentioned that Jacques doesn't turn up again until like season 32 or 34 or some shit like that. Jacques in the opening credits.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Before the digitalized or like the digitized one comes in season 20, like we spoke about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
In the updated credits that are like, because like technically we get 3 sets now throughout all the 3 episodes. We get like the original ones from season 1. We get like the one that everybody knows and loves from the middle seasons, and then after the movie was released, they changed to like the upgraded digital ones.
Yep.
So yeah, Jacques in the opening credits just before there's like a couple of people that Bart passes on his skateboard before he goes across the road in front of Marge's car. Jacques is the second last person. So he's literally in every fucking episode.
Oh, wow. I usually just skip the intro.
Oh, yeah.
I was just sitting there like absent-mindedly looking at it. I was like, that's him right there.
Right
And
there,
now,
rule
like,
one.
as I looked at it, I also started to question. I was like, I wonder if there's a couple of different, like, iterations of it. Maybe there's a couple of different people that he passes. Maybe they changed Jacques out at some point in time. If anybody knows, because I'm not willing to look it up, look at you, Boardman.
Has he contacted you yet?
No, still not yet.
We're going to have to just start berating someone else. Boardman clearly just wants to remain anonymous.
Yes. Turns out he's witness protection.
Oh, we need that shirt. Witness relocation program. When they become the Thompsons.
Hello, Mr. Boardman.
Yeah.
He's got the hat and the shirt.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, that's good. So, like, context-wise, if someone hasn't seen this episode, it is like a mid-season TV in America. Is it raining?
What's that fucking noise?
Oh.
Okay, so the family are sitting in TV room watching TV, and it's like the mid-season TV in America. So a bunch of shitty shows taped together because they don't look like shows on TV.
Gotta use horses.
If you want a good show.
And then, yeah, I think straight away it's into police cops, but there was a pretty good line from, I think, Lisa not long before that. They were saying, like, being able to, like, cut costs of animation and replace characters, etc., etc. And then Flanders walks past the window. Plus, they can replace them. No one can tell the diddly difference.
Yeah, he just had the most like generic like white voice.
Yeah.
Do you remember that bit?
Dog, cat, taped and corked. Dog, cat, taped and corked.
Taped and corked.
And the voice of that, whoever did Flanders, then it was recurring cast member Carl Wiedegott instead of his regular voice actor Harry Shearer.
Aha.
Oh, okay.
What else does Carl whatever
Wiedegott.
do?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Carl Wiedegott, everybody.
I came in here to voice Flanders. I didn't really know Ned Flanders.
It's all right, I'll cover for you. So yeah, well, you brought that up, so I'll just move quickly on to like jumping ahead a little bit. Lots of weird fourth wall jokes with Flanders' voice. Also like Lisa mentioning that. Mr. Largo and the Capital City goofball walking past the window, and Wiggum's comment about Homer being the stupid cop from TV. So a whole lot in this episode about them sort of being like a little bit like self-referential.
Yep. I also had that note down because I saw Mr. Largo. I couldn't remember the name of the mascot, but yeah, Capital City goofball.
Yeah, because Homer plays him at some point in time, I believe, in the second season.
Homer at the bat, I think the episode's called.
No, that's the name of the episode with the softball team. Don't say softball.
Is that a new sport of some kind?
No, he didn't play that, the goofball. He had his own thing. Sorry. Yeah, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
And yeah, as they progress into watching this mid-season television, they get into Homer sees it in like, I think it was like a TV guide, which we don't exist anymore.
Yeah, God.
In paper form.
Yeah, they do exist to a degree, but it's only ever like on your phone or anything like that.
And he's like,
he's got that fucking notepad that says like excellent shows and then very good shows.
yeah.
That he had made up at a particular store.
Yeah.
That all-night scorecard, please.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, like, oh God, the entire police cop scene is just incredible. Like,
fucking brilliant.
It goes for what, like 2 or 3 minutes, and
come on, get his back on the back of the truck that I hide out. We'll break into it later.
Yeah.
Police cops. That sounds like a lethal combination.
And yeah, parodies like Miami Vice. Police Cops does.
Oh, okay. Right, like sort of being like flamboyant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the entire scene is crazy. When he grabs that dude and throws him into the other guy and they just explode.
Yeah. There's 3 robbers running away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that they were winching the whole bank onto a massive truck instead. We'll break into it later.
Yeah. Fucking great.
And then, the 2 detectives stop them, start shooting the guys, and then it's probably like the police chief of that show comes out and he's like, I'd like to donate $40 to charity in your honor.
High five. $40.
And yeah, like that whole scene is very, very quotable. And
catches the bullet and throws it back into his chest.
Arrest that guy.
After he's blatantly killed him.
Yeah. I don't get it, Homer.
You're a millionaire.
You got all the babes you want. Why don't you just hang out in your mansion in Europe?
I think I just have to say I hate crime.
Oh, fucking hell. And then, like, as it's zooming out, it says, blood provided by the American Red Cross.
Donate blood today.
couldn't have made it any better. And then Homer
He's
basically
named like my name.
yeah, just the extended sigh.
Oh, it was fucking great.
I've got written down like another quote here, but I can't quite remember what happens before it. Like I think Lisa's saying something about this came up in my like Reddit kind of deep dive the other day where they reference a character in the show and then someone goes like, "Oh yeah, right, that looks like John Travolta."
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
that recurring joke.
Yeah, it comes up again, and it's like, "Oh, remember when that guy that looked like Anthony Michael Hall stole your hubcaps?" Right, coincidence. And I think Anthony Michael Hall was like some sort of disgraced famous person.
Really?
Yeah, so he was a real life person.
Oh no, he's on Breakfast Club and
That's right. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Became
many
a
other
criminal
movies.
of some sort.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was all the mid '80s movies
Damn.
that Anthony Michael Hall was in.
Oh yeah, yeah. National Lampoons.
Yeah,
He was in Freddy Got Fingered.
great movie.
Well,
Neddy, would you like some sausage? Neddy, would you like some sausages?
I'm the backwards Ned. The backwards Ned.
I don't see two Nedwards. Do you?
Oh, fucking hell.
Would you like more Ned on your Ned sandwich?
Yeah. You can stick the cheese up your Ned.
Oh, fuck. All right, so then we get... I'm trying to remember with
What the fuck am I supposed to do with Ned?
X-ray Ned. X-ray Ned. I can see through wooden doors. X-ray Ned.
I think that's the extent of my Freddy Got Fingered memory. God.
I think I watched it a lot at the time. It was very suited to my demographic when that came out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Green.
Which was the style at the time.
You're saying green an awful lot.
It smells funny in there. No, it doesn't. Like at the airport today.
So yeah, then we move.
So funny. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pee, so you guys tell that story.
No.
Can Mitchie tell it?
So we're at the airport today. And that's not the joke. Yeah, we thought when you're somewhere and you go, is that weed? Of course not. It's the airport. We just thought it was someone's food. And then it became clear that there was someone smoking a doob right outside of the airport. Oh.
Clearly in a sign that said no smoking.
Yeah. Fucking criminal he was.
Didn't say no drugs though.
Hey.
That guy clearly didn't get an explosive test on the way up.
Yeah. One of us did.
Yeah. I'll let you guess who.
The explosive looking guy.
He's grinning moronally.
And that's the end of that chapter. I sent that to you telepathically. Push the button. Maddie, push the button.
All right. We're a triplet again. So
then we get the next scene with Homer trying to like show off the show to everybody in the bar. Is that the next one?
Right down to the scarf. Oh, there it is.
It's still got the price tag on it.
I think that came up a little bit later because he goes to work first and then the second episode comes out after that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So Homer and Marge are sitting in bed and then the phone rings. Marge picks it up. It's another person wanting to congratulate you on having a famous name. Yes, this is the original Homer Simpson. Debbie Pinson from high school?
Yes, I'm still available.
No, he's not. No dating.
Oh.
That was Debbie Pinson.
What was that noise? Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Springs in this thing, I think.
I think it's something on the computer.
Oh. Blung.
You are not hearing me talk.
Should probably ignore that.
Yeah, Debbie Pinson came up in I think a season 20 episode that we covered recently.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. The one where they have that the thing. Yeah.
Wasn't it?
No, they have the like hypothetical episode in the Source in the Italian restaurant.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
If Homer won the presidential election in like his senior year.
Yeah, correct. And yeah, they got their timing a little off for a through line, but
Close enough.
Nearly hit it. There is a good through line in this episode we'll come to when it gets there.
I didn't notice any, so good thing you did.
It's a goodie.
Oh.
Have you got anything, Mitch?
Oh, so much. No.
Keep an eye on that weird looking kid down there.
Who, Ned?
Yeah, Ned.
Bart, kill that cat.
Yeah.
And that big yellow flower. So good.
One of my favorite quotes of the episode was when Homer goes to work the next day and Lenny basically says like, "Oh, you're famous. You're at the bottom of page 2. Local man."
Bottom of page 12.
Bottom of page 12, that's right. And yeah, local resident Homer Simpson shares his name with blah, blah, blah. And then Carl goes, "Ooh, Mr. Simpson, sir. Can I get your autograph?"
I can't remember what he says to him next, but he fucking, then he like writes it down. He's like, "Oh, Homer, you're supposed to write your name. You just wrote
You wrote my name. I wanted yours. Take it or leave it.
Carl."
Homer, we've worked together for 10 years.
Oh, so fucking good. Yeah, then we have that quote that I just said. Then we move on to like him having the meeting with the. No, wait, sorry. Then we move on to the bar scene.
Yeah, correct.
We're trying to show it off, and then it's like obvious, like it's shown that they've changed his character. Which do they even explain why they changed the character?
I think they do when they go to the network a little bit later, which we are nearly up to.
Yes. Have you got any quotes from the bar scene?
No, but I've got a quote from the show itself when they're watching it.
Yeah. Where he's stupid all of a sudden?
Yeah, but we can go.
Our game shows are a little different from yours. Your shows reward knowledge. We punish ignorance.
Alrighty. Since you fucking pressed the button, you can start us off. What do you got? You got one?
That was squelchy.
Maybe.
I've got the start of it, so I'm hoping that you can just remember the rest because I forgot to write it. But I think I did anyway. But nice beating, Lance.
No, I got nothing.
Especially around the eyes.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Lance Kaufman. That's who did it. Yes.
Do we say the slapping to the end?
Yeah.
Or?
Kind of hard like this.
Yeah, we just do it sort of. Yeah, that'll work.
Yep.
All right. Have you got one or?
After Homer throws his scarf up and gets hooked on the fan and gets thrown out the door of the bar.
I mean, I'm going to get slapped so much.
What does Lenny say
What's he going to do for an encore?
before that?
Oh.
There was like a slight
What
pause.
an exit.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, all right. Damn it. I've got 2 coming.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any encore. He starts laughing again. Alrighty. I have. You guys can just sort of like look away so you don't see my screen.
Uh-huh.
And I'll try and do my best
Joke's on
grandpa
you. I'm
impression.
illiterate.
And I'm trying to figure out where I should actually quit it. The last name is my legacy to you. I got it from my father, and he got it from his father.
And he traded a mule for it.
Oh, I'll give you. And that mule went on to save Spring Break.
Right. Yep. Yep.
But we'll give that one because you got the immediate line. So Matt goes to hit us twice?
Many times.
No. Wait. Matt gets to hit you twice and me once.
Okay.
And you get to hit me once.
Okay. I got another one if you want to hear it.
I don't want to get slapped anymore.
I need to get slapped still.
All
So
right.
this one's just for me.
Just for you. All right. I know you're going to get it, but that's fine. Later on, they're in the walking around the shopping center or something, in the mall or something, and Homer's got like an overcoat and everyone's laughing at him, and he says, "Marge, let's get out of here. People are laughing at me."
Oh,
It might be, "People are laughing at me. Let's get out of here."
nah, blanking on it. I know the scene.
Yeah.
When Wiggum walks up to him?
No.
Okay.
Or is it, can you let my nephew kick you in the stomach?
Oh, nah, not that. But
Got another one in you, Josh?
The flash didn't go off. Nah. People are laughing at me. Let's get out of here. Forget the baby's medicine.
Oh, damn it. Yeah. That's good.
All right.
Didn't get it. Got another one, didn't you, Ned?
All right.
Righty. Then we go to the meeting.
The meeting.
Yes.
Or
Is the next scene, I believe, isn't it? Oh, no. The next scene is him sort of sitting upstairs and then he goes and questions, why.
Yeah.
Which my next note is 13 executives, for the 13th episode.
on the big table.
Yeah, because he says something to the effect of like, how many people like made this decision? He's like, well, there's 13 of us.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Something I didn't think would pop up.
I don't know whether that was just coincidence or not. I figured they were like, oh, we need an arbitrary number. Why don't we just make it 13 for the 13th episode?
Yeah. There is like a little bit that we can cover before that, but that's all right.
So we asked ourselves, who's behind the badge?
Police, cops, police cops.
And now, a surprise for Nettie.
Oh, yeah. To mark this occasion.
What when did that happen?
Yesterday.
Oh, that is mad. Take him to the camera. Oh, that is amazing. So they got the police cops guy.
You got to hold my leg.
Yeah, we'll do it later. Oh,
Thank fuck I don't have to do anything.
I was like, am I gonna get slapped again?
Get ready for a surprise.
God, that was so hard to like not let you see the whole time we've been here.
Or instantly send you the photo.
Yeah.
Like the first thing you want to do is show the new tattoo off.
When did you decide to do that?
We were thinking about it on Thursday night, and then we were trying to just come up with like something that we can both get that we both know and do often, and we always go police cops.
Yeah. Should we get Jägermeister or
police cops?
Suntory or both? Police cops.
And funnily enough, I didn't even look at the episodes we were doing this week. So it was something out there in the ether that made this even funnier. Is I didn't know we were covering the police cops episode.
Are you fucking
this week.
serious?
Not at all. Like,
when did you watch the episodes?
last night.
Oh fuck!
After getting
That's
the tattoo.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So we agreed on the idea and booked it in.
A literal universal through line.
Yeah. And if you didn't notice, the network executive is wearing the scarf, and the scarf is the banner that says police cops.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's
If I get the
amazing.
photo of them side by side, then we can. We were comparing the differences between them.
We got identical tattoos, but of course they're slightly off, but
Slightly
it's a
different.
given.
So Matt says police cop 5. And he's got a pointy nose. And I've got a rounded nose.
Ah.
And the mouth on mine, the line is a bit wobbly.
And Mitch's also looks like it says Pouse Cops.
Police cops. Oh, that was fucking amazing.
That's why I just wanted to record and get it done because I couldn't have kept it much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's just like, let's do it. Okay. All right. So then we get the scene of him changing his name to Max Power after that.
Yes. From this day forward, your name will be Max Power.
Yeah,
and
what
the
are
name
the
is
other?
spelled correctly.
Hercules
B. Rockefeller. Rembrandt Q. Einstein. Hanson B. Wonderful. I'm going to give you the only name you spelled correctly. Dynamic. I love it, Max.
From now on, we're going to do everything the Max Power way. Isn't that just the wrong way? Yes, but faster. I married Homer Simpson. I don't want to go to bed with Max Power. You don't go to bed with Max Power, Marge. You strap yourself in and feel the G's.
And then that same scene, Marge is trying to reason with Homer about changing his name, and she's like, "Did you think of the mailman when you did this?"
Briefly, yes.
And then we get to the scene where he's changing his name plaque at work. Yeah. Max Power.
He's got
the name you mustn't touch.
No, you want to touch, but you mustn't touch. His name sounds good in your ear, but when you hear it, you mustn't fear, 'cause his name can be said by anyone. We got that.
Yeah. And that was sung in the melody of Goldfinger.
Ah, okay. Right. I wonder why that was slightly familiar.
And went on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredibly.
And was it before that when he's making fondue?
Yeah.
Get ready.
Get ready, everybody. He's about to do something stupid.
There goes Albany.
Yeah. They're all just pissing themselves. An entire state is without power.
Yeah. I also liked the subtle jab at an actor in the police cops scene when he goes to see the executives was the show was originally going to be called Badge Patrol, but there was already another show in the works with Annie Potts and Jeremy Piven that was going to be something about the same.
Who's Jeremy Piven?
We don't know.
Oh, I love how they do that just randomly, just real quick fire
Just for
as
no
well.
reason.
Yeah.
I wonder whether he was a thing at that point in time, because he obviously came fame through Entourage and
Yeah.
Would that have been out?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
No.
Right.
A little bit too before its time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after Homer sings the Max Power song, Burns comes in and immediately knows who he is.
Yeah. Remembers his name.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Power.
Yeah. As he's backing out of the room.
And another thing is that he brings up and he calls Homer magnetic, which was a through line from the
Oh, yeah, he does too. From
season
2 weeks ago, technically.
Yeah, episode 9, I think it was.
Yes.
The re-release. Yes.
Love that sound.
Yeah, then we get the scene of him shopping for... Is he shopping for a tie? No, he's shopping for monogram shirts.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Max Power, spelled M-A-X-P-O-W-E-R.
Usually people just get the initials. Max Power doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And if there's space, a few exclamation marks.
And a pirate flag.
Yeah, that's it.
The man knows what he wants.
Yes. And this brings up a pretty fun real life story that actually happened to me.
Yeah.
So that guy that says what you just said introduces himself as Trent Steele, as we all know and love. I sold things on eBay from time to time, and no word of a lie, someone bought something and their name was Trent Steele. And immediately I thought, get fucked. Like, this is some sort of hilarious joke. Like, he put it there. So I sent off the thing that he bought, and I sent like a little note in it saying, like, I fucking love your name. And then I signed my return address as Max Power.
Yeah, right.
And then he messaged me on eBay saying, like, fuck, I got your note. That was hilarious. Yes, that is my real name.
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wonder if he listens.
I'll have to get it up and put it as like a still photo for this scene because it's still in there somewhere.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, so we got the scene with him with Trent Steele, and he's introduces himself. Trent Steele, Max Power. Oh, great name. Thanks. I got it up a hairdryer. Then does it cut straight from that to them going to the party?
He comes home before that.
Yeah.
So
and telling Marge that he wants Thai food for every meal.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like him and Trent are leaving like sort of arm in arm, and Trent goes, "You like Thai?" Homer goes, "Thai good. You like shirt?"
Marge, this is Thai food. I want it for every meal, morning, dinner, and night. Morning, dinner, and night. Morning,
noon, and night.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know what he. Morning, noon, and night. That's what he says. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
And then Lisa picks up that one piece of food, and she's
Where
like,
did you learn to eat Thai food? From Trent Steele. Trent Steele.
Power's longest acquaintance.
Longest and oldest friend.
Yeah.
Lisa picks up like the banana leaf. She's like, "What's this? It smells like mint." "Oh yeah, I just put my chewing gum in there."
Yeah. Spit my gum in there.
The next quote I've got just says, "Anyway, you wouldn't understand." I can't remember what preceded that.
Nope.
No, I got nothing either.
Must have been good. All right, yeah, now we're at the party scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anyone have notes on that?
I think I've got quotes, not notes. When he pulls up and the valet guy's like, "Do you wish me to destroy this machine for you, sir?"
Just park
it. I counted the pennies in the ashtray, which is also a recurring joke. That comes up like another time because I thought he was going to say, "There's two."
Yeah, I was waiting for that too. Yeah.
But I think that's when he's at a car wash, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
That's I feel like we've already covered that episode, actually.
It sounds familiar.
That's the
like
fucking,
I'm
that's
listening.
the Viva the Ned Flanders episode.
Oh, it is.
That was
too.
only like a couple of weeks ago.
Whoops.
Where are you on that one, dipshit?
Got away from you.
Through here?
We watched Club Dread last night, and they fucking cut that scene from the movie.
They what?
Yeah, because we were showing it to Dad, being like, "He'll like this." He'll like Super Troopers. And then I was like, "All right, this is the scene coming up, like my favorite of the movie." And then it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Here it is. Wait.
Yeah.
Scene missing.
Yeah. Just fight your way through the thick of the forest. Through here.
Yeah. It's just right on the other side. Through here?
So back to the Simpsons.
Yeah.
When they do pull up in the car, like the number of the house is 22 spelled out in letters, and Marge is saying like how neat that is, and then Homer goes, "Get used to it, honey. From now on, we're spelling everything in letters."
I love the way he enunciates everything. We're going to like everything in letters.
Yeah.
"Are you sure it's a federal law that I have to dance with you?" "I would change the law if I could, Marge. I would."
I'm trying.
They ripped on him a fair bit, hey? Like,
I've done it with pigs. No fooling real ass pigs.
there's a tool shed out back. I'm in there most of the day.
What else does Bill Clinton say? Now we have to say them all.
Yeah.
They were two very good impressions.
That
was about it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Basically. Yeah.
That's the end of that chapter.
I've got written down just Ed Begley Jr. Just has
Who the fuck is Ed Begley Jr.?
He is in Pineapple Express, Amber Heard's dad. Like, I will take you outside and fuck you in the street.
I've
Don't
never
fuck us
seen
anywhere.
Pineapple Express. Oh no. No. Oh no, hang on. I think I tried to start watching it and I just didn't enjoy it. So I turned it off.
It's like right up your alley.
Get out.
We'll have to watch it like tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We the shitty inventions that he makes is like a wind turbine type thing that's solar powered, and then a go-kart that's powered by his own self-satisfaction.
Oh yeah.
That's him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I have seen that guy and stuff. No. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
All right. Yeah.
And weirdly enough, Ed Begley Jr. is in the season 20 episode 13 for this week too.
What? Where?
He pops up.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of like when the total eclipse starts, his car comes on screen because it's solar powered. It runs out and it stops in the middle of the tracks.
Oh, right.
But that's like one of the most niche through lines that I think we've had is two recurring characters.
That it's like a
that are so
celebrity
obscure.
recurring character, and it's like not only that, he's also in another it's solar powered as opposed to being powered by his own like self-satisfaction, but he's in some weird ass like non-fossil fuel powered vehicle.
Yeah, like it's too obscure not to be purposely put there, in my opinion.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, now I'm 100% of the opinion that they're like looking back 10 years and being like, what did we do?
Yeah.
How can we reference that?
Because like most weeks there is at least something as niche as they can be. Like this one's a pretty big one. And then some weeks it's a little bit off. So like the Debbie Pinson thing, for instance, was maybe a couple weeks off. But
Yeah, right.
Still,
Yeah.
like close enough together to notice it.
Why does everybody hate Lorne Michaels? Does anybody know that?
I wanted to look it up, but I just couldn't be bothered.
He's the Saturday Night Live guy, and everyone from that show does impressions of him. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I've seen, like if you watch like Adam Sandler or any of those guys in interviews, they always do like some form of impression of him.
Yeah.
I actually think if you watch the movie Grown Ups,
Yeah.
there's a noise that they make that refers to Rob Schneider's character. They always like make fun of him.
Yeah, like
Because he's like, that noise that they make, like, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I believe that is like an interpretation of Lorne Michaels' voice
Okay.
and what it's actually sort of supposed to sound like, because I've heard them and a couple of other people that have been on SNL make that noise in other interviews. So I think that because like those dudes were all on SNL together along with like Chris Farley and maybe one or two other people. I don't think Kevin James was, now that I mentioned. Wait, was Kevin James in that movie? Yeah, Kevin James
he was in the movie. I don't think he was on
Yes.
Saturday Night Live.
But the other four of them were. Was Chris Rock?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so the
all
other
of them.
four of them, or wait, maybe Rob Schneider wasn't either.
I think he might have been.
I know Spade was.
Yeah.
Spade was, Sandler was, and Chris Rock was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously you've got like enough for through line there for them to be making fun of their boss.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I still don't get why everybody hates him.
Oh.
Do you know anything?
Oh.
Yeah, I felt like after the party that Trent Steele threw for everyone and then sort of becomes an environmentalist and things like that, the episode dropped off a little bit in terms of
Plot-wise, it started to make a little bit like less sense because he didn't really like. It was strange that they gave somebody like him those characteristics because he was like just sort of portrayed as like generally somebody that lives in like a mansion like that and has all of those kind of people around, or like, you know, big celebrities and stuff like that. Doesn't really care about the environment that much.
And usually billionaires aren't people to want to
Actually, now that you think about it, they are the kind of people to just sort of sit there and be like, no, we need to save the planet, and then take private jets everywhere, which is ultimately destroying the planet.
Like largest carbon footprint out of most people.
Yes.
Yeah. My sort of last note that I have here is when they're all sort of tied to the giant redwoods.
I bet it's going to be the same thing I've got written down.
Yeah, maybe. So I think when Wiggum and Eddie and Lou get there, Wiggum says something about swabbing the protesters. And
swab them with mace.
Yeah. So the police attempting to swab the protesters is a reference to several incidents in 1997 in which sheriff's deputies of Humboldt County, California, swabbed pepper spray in the eyes of environmental protesters.
Where they actually swabbed them?
Yeah. It's in quotation marks.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So this episode would have aired roughly 2 years after that happened in real
Mace
life.
swab, hippie strength.
Yeah.
And who does he tell the guy to swab? Like, swab Begley, he likes it.
Yeah.
And the when Trent's talking, he's like doing a speech before that, and I was like, boo. And he goes, yeah, somebody buy this guy a tree cell, shut up.
Yeah. That's right. And then the last thing I have written down is just the brilliant sequence of like Homer running around the tree, cutting it down, the forest starting to fall down, and then he throws the chain in the air and kills the eagle.
Bald eagle.
Yeah.
It's like America's most prized animal.
Oh, it's just fucking brilliant. Like that's season 10 in a nutshell. It's like even though the episode like plot wise starts to make a little bit less sense, they still just like they just keep you there.
Yeah. And like, I think one of the last trees to fall crushes the cop car.
Yeah.
And then Wiggum's like, that was 2 days away from retirement.
Yeah. Well, how many times he's done that? You know,
Actually, yeah, you're right about that. He said that like joke a couple of times as well, which is obviously not something that they made up for like cops to say.
Yeah.
But he does say that like maybe 3 times that I can recall.
The one where Homer wears the surveillance hat into the Cookie Mart.
yeah, true.
That happens
Yeah.
2 days away from retirement.
Yeah.
Is it always 2? I wonder.
Maybe.
Looking at you, Boardman.
Come on, Boardman.
He's back in search engine form.
You got anything?
The last funny line that I'd written down, like, this is the worst party ever. No, remember that New Year's at Lenny's? He didn't have out of a clock.
I thought that was fucking great too.
Yeah.
Which is like a point I brought up a million fucking times, but Marge is best used in just those little fucking like she's not even making a joke. Like it's barely even funny what she says, but it's fucking hilarious. Just in the context.
Yeah.
So good. Got anything else?
Nah.
Okay. Let's eat some food.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god! I know what the biggest ring in Springfield is. It's been right in front of us the whole time.
Oh, yes, I see it.
I see it too. Let's head that way. We'll walk or drive to the obvious solution.
You want to just read that again?
No. Okay. The title of the season 20 episode is Gone Maggie Gone. Synopsis reads, Homer leaves Maggie on the doorstep of a convent, but when she disappears, Lisa goes undercover as a nun to solve the mystery and find her. Meanwhile, Homer tries to keep Maggie's disappearance a secret from Marge, who was temporarily blinded while watching a solar eclipse.
Yeah, so we start the episode with, like you mentioned before, solar eclipse happening and Ed Begley Jr.'s car stopping on a train track. And then Homer being a fucking idiot and tripping over his eclipse viewing machine. So Marge just decides to look at it with her bare fucking eyes and burns them and crusts them over. Do they crust over like Homer's doing that one episode?
They go red.
Yeah, they just go red. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wish they did that through line. That would have been fucking great.
That could be my next tattoo.
Now, homie,
when we get to the liquor store, need you to buy me a
Jack Daniels and some smokes.
carton of Jack Daniels and some smokes.
Yes, dear. Yeah, so my first note was just context-wise was, yeah, for whatever reason, there's like a solar eclipse. I don't know how often they happen. Can't recall, but not heaps often.
Yeah.
Well, Marge mentions like during like the sequence where Homer's little machine breaks. She's like, "It's all right, Homer, you can have my one." And Lisa's like, "But you're gonna miss it." And she's like, "It's all right. There'll be another one in Yemen in the year 2027 or some shit like that."
So yeah, if it's going by real lifetime, probably like 18 years apart.
Yeah. We'll be talking about this together forever.
I finally feel like part of a family. It's just one of the quotes I wrote down. But then even skipping before that, that little like spiel that Ken Brockman goes on just at the start of the episode is fucking great. Like a woman breastfeeding in a restaurant. It's free, it's beautiful, and you're not supposed to look at it.
I had that note down to get that quote, and I just didn't do it. So thank you.
And we never did.
I think the next scene is they're trying to sort of help Marge get around the kitchen, and oh no, she's sitting in the living room, and Lisa takes Homer into the kitchen, and there's like rats everywhere.
Dad, come into the kitchen quickly. Is there any other way to enter a kitchen?
Yeah, that's right. And then it goes on to have the rat on Homer's head, just like in Ratatouille.
Yeah, that extended sort of like it was. I had a little bit of hope for the episode. I was like, oh, this seems a bit more like snappy and like fast-paced joke-wise, and then they sort of went on with that Ratatouille scene for like a minute and a half, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, from there, pretty sure Homer's going to the store to get like a big jar of rat poison or whatever, and he's talking to the guy at the shop, and he says something like, why do they always make the poison look like candy? Because Maggie's trying to grab it.
Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then, on the way home, for whatever reason, he's got Maggie and the dog with him when he's going to buy poison.
Which he, like, mentions.
Yeah.
Literally, as he's going over the bridge.
Yeah. And that's when he crashes off it.
Yeah.
And they end up on, like, this sort of little island all together, and there's a boat there for whatever reason. And Homer's got to sort of figure out the puzzle of how to get all three of them across because they're too heavy as like an all together.
Extremely convenient. And yeah, like it's a play on, I'm not sure what the exact riddle is, but there's an old riddle that is based upon that vague concept.
Yep.
Actually, I think it might be the one that Cletus has when he's like in the middle.
The chicken, the corn, and the fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably, a famous riddle that neither of us have ever seen or heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Boardman thing.
Yeah, come on, Boardman. Pull your weight. Fuck.
It's a Marker can do with that.
Maybe Boardman is a family food. We don't know. Quite frankly, we don't want to know.
My next note is Homer insisting on wearing the night outfit a joke about Lisa episodes not being great, or the fact that like he needs to be inserted in the episode in some way, shape, or form? Or, and then the second part of that, or is it just that Homer inserts himself where he's not needed?
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want to be left out of certain things that look fun, and he's sort of playing it down that he isn't able to fit into a nun's costume straight away, but that's basically just foreshadowing him already having the costume.
Yeah, like having it behind a bush kind of thing, which is once again one of those jokes that sort of like just runs a little bit long for me.
Yeah. I felt even just like the scene we were describing before went for way too long, like Homer trying to get across the water.
Yeah, that lagged like a little bit too much. Like if you actually watch that in the sense of it being aired on TV with ads kind of thing, that whole sequence was supposed to be split in half. So I suppose it seems way longer than it actually is technically, but in the way that we're viewing it, obviously you see it as one piece.
Yeah, I've noticed that with a few season 20 episodes. Like, remember when Bart gets a cell phone, they, like as soon as he picks it up, he sort of goes, and look, it does this, and sort of holds it on the TV, and it goes to what would be an ad.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you do notice those parts where it's like obviously meant to be a commercial break.
Yeah. doesn't bode well for this day and age.
Yes.
Where everything is just streamable and ad free.
Yeah.
Maybe we can insert some ads.
How about now?
I've got a note saying like Homer questions God's legitimacy. I can't remember the exact quote that he did, but I think that's come up a few times.
Yeah, he says something about God not existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when he leaves Maggie at the door of the covenancy. And she's saying something to him out like the peephole.
Yeah, he's yelling at the nun.
Yeah. And that's it.
You got anything?
Yeah, mine's just more context stuff, which don't really just want to run the episode down type thing. But yeah, I don't really know. As for an episode as a whole, it was obviously based around Maggie and that she's like some sort of sentient being, as she seems to be in a lot of episodes, and she already has been in a season 20 episode before when she's like that Aztec god.
Yeah, you're right. She has kind of been like, what would the correct kind of word be?
Wuzzle wazzle?
I'd have called him jazz wazzers.
For lack
like
of
a deity or something.
I was about to say, for lack of an actual word, like being like sort of put on a pedestal as like some form of deity or, you know, like demigod or something like that. Because, yeah, obviously at the end of that episode, she's like shown on top of a pyramid in, where's that place?
Egypt.
No, it's not in Egypt. It's wherever the Mayans are from.
Egypt?
Machu Picchu.
Egypt's a scientist.
It's not Egypt. Jackal. It looks like a jackal.
What was that in?
Family Guy.
Yeah, that's right. God, that was good. There was like
the nun that just walks into the darkness after she speaks to Lisa is probably like one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Wow.
Like, it was just fucking... I actually rewound it like 2 or 3 times. Just the fact that she just like walks into the corner and stands there. I was like, that's fucking top tier. It was like, just like we said before, there is like little flashes of brilliance within these season 20 episodes where you're like, oh, they're still like, you know, they're still there. It's fucking what episode is it? The Bronson guy that like just sold Homer the poison. He's got Donkey Kong outside of a Krusty Burger or something like that.
Yeah.
And he says like something about him being washed up, and Donkey Kong throws the barrel at him. Hey, he's still got it. So you get those moments every now and then, but for the rest of the episode relatively falls kind of flat. It like comic book guy and Skinner just sort of being crammed in there as part of some secret society. Then they get to the top of the hill and Burns is there, which, you know, there's a decently quotable moment out of that.
It's my eyeball on the dollar bill. That's also my pyramid. Hence, I trailed you on your quest, accompanied by my faithful albino.
I keep telling you I'm not an albino. I just use a lot of sunblock.
Then why do I give you all the albino holidays off?
So, like, several, like, questions. What the fuck, like, what are the albino holidays?
Yeah. And, like, when did he ever think Smithers was an albino? Like, he was black originally.
That was going to be my next point. It's like, was this a reference to the point that they started off with Smithers being black and then decided, okay, he's going to be white? Because he's not any more significantly white than any other character. You compare him to somebody like, who's that pale kid?
Wendell,
who's like actually, you know, has a different skin tone as opposed to everybody else to signify that he is pale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here too.
There was one note I've got here. It's sort of when Skinner and comic book guy are looking for the gem that Lisa's looking for.
Yep.
So that's like the other riddle of this episode. So
I think this is also nearly going to be one of my other quotes, but go on.
It's not a quote, but it's just so So it's another thing relating to the Catholic Church.
Man never wrote a quote in his life.
So the Catholic Church got brought up in one of the last couple of episodes about censoring the show after it was released.
Yes.
So this was like the clue: great crimes kill holy sage is quite possibly a reference to the fallout from the Catholic Church sexual abuse cases.
In what way?
That's all the reference said, and that's all I wrote. And that's all you get.
Can you elaborate?
No.
I was going to ask you a series of simple questions. Do you understand? Yes. What else have I got written down?
You can imagine some form of a sexual abuse case coming about from a church.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all of these things have been covered up since the beginning of time.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah. And like being the most protected people can't be questioned. There's probably just certain laws that, I don't know, they're instated that they can't get in trouble for these sort of things that have finally been uncovered in the last sort of 20 to 30 years.
It's not even so much that they can't get in trouble. It's like most of the time, if priests get in trouble within the Catholic priesthood, they just get like moved to the Vatican, which is like off limits from the law.
Yeah.
Or Vatican City or whatever the fuck it is.
Is that right?
Yeah, something to that effect.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty heinous.
And they don't pay taxes or anything, do they?
Nah. Tax exempt status for most religions.
Yeah.
That's such bullshit. Like, first of all, they're based on fictitious beings that no one can either prove or disprove. And to this day and age, no one's ever sort of has stone cold evidence of there being a true religious figure. And people follow this shit until the day they fucking die.
Yeah, some people just need something to believe in.
Just to get some attention.
I haven't got a whole lot more notes for the episode. One of them's just a quote, and then the other two are kind of half not relevant because I don't know. I didn't actually do the research into the second one. Milhouse saying, "No, I'm not a smart nerd. I'm just a weak nerd," was kind of funny. When the nuns are singing at the end of the episode, are they singing Jewel of the Fates?
I fucking don't know.
You know what that is? I
know the tune, but I don't know.
It's from
called.
Star Wars, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's why I don't fucking know it.
Neither of us have watched Star Wars.
I think so. And if I'm wrong, whatever it is like someone knows it and they're like screaming at their fucking windshield right now. Like, no, it's this. You fuckwit.
So, like, the void is getting terribly full out there.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yep.
Killer said he screamed into it multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you want that void less filled.
Yeah. Boardman, speak up, man. Fuck.
Have you got anything else?
I've got one more quote. It's like part of a quote. I didn't get it all down in time, but it was, I think the nun was saying to Lisa, like, "You are pure, aren't you? Does kissing Milhouse count?" No.
Everyone's just like, no. Well, yeah, the last thing I have written down is, once again, it like just these not even jokes that run on too long kind of thing. It's just jokes that really shouldn't exist. Like, they try to make that weird, like they do that montage where the light's shining on Maggie's head and everything peaceful is happening around town. Nobody's saying anything until the warden speaks, and then all of a sudden Snake spouts that stupid line about, and then like specifically names whatever the jewel is as being returned to its home or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, that scene would have just been a million times, not even funnier, just more satisfying in general if he just got a massage from the electric chair. Like the warden says, "Oh, just turn it to massage or whatever," and he just sits there peacefully like everybody else did in the montage. Like, I don't know why they needed to cram that line in there.
There was like there was a few like better scenes when that gem was sort of shining on people throughout Springfield. There was like George Washington and someone else from the opposite side of the war was sort of hugging and then stopped when someone else ran past and then sort of started hugging again.
No, that was in the montage of the story that Skinner was telling about the whole story of the gem.
There you go.
Get ready, everybody. About to do something stupid.
Who says I'm slow?
Homer, you still here?
Baloney.
But yeah, I think it just like, as I mentioned before, like, you know, we had that fucking brilliant visual gag of the nun walking in and like walking into the corner rather, which I was pissing myself laughing at. And then we have a moment like that where it's just like, oh, okay. So like, because of that, that's the thing that I'm going to remember about the episode. Like I'm more annoyed about that than I enjoyed that other thing.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the thing that started to annoy me about season 20. There is good parts. Like there is still parts that are genuinely what the Simpsons are and what we grew up on and like fell in love with. But then you have these other moments that just take away from them so much.
Yeah. It becomes more of like a visual gag fest because they're just trying to emphasize this storyline and go through a whole storyline in 20 minutes. So these little bits that pop up aren't quotes anymore. They're just, as I said, visual gags. As like when Lisa's going up to that sort of bell tower and there's a sign at the thing saying "Do not enter," or "Do, I'm a sign, not a cop."
Yeah.
On the bottom of it.
Yeah, the visual gags, sign gags, and all that, like all that stuff. Like I've mentioned before, my favorite part about most of the season 20 episodes have been either sign or visual moments.
Yeah.
But there's just, all of these, like if I try and think back to the episodes that we've covered, the only things that I can remember are the real bad things that stick out, not the things that made me laugh. Like obviously I can think about them if my memory is jogged, but if I'm just to like think about the episode we did 2 weeks ago, it's just those stupid faces that pop into my head. It's nothing else.
Yeah. Weird for the show to be tainted by the unfunny moments instead of the funny stuff, because that's obviously all we do is talk Simpsons quotes to one another. And during season 20 so far, there's never been a quotable moment that has become part of our repertoire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think we've gotten anything so far. I think the most we've said to each other is like my tarts, maybe every now and then, but it's like, yeah. There's just, it's not the same. But at the same point in time, that was the whole concept for this show as well, was to really sort of show the difference in between the golden years and then where they just sort of started to really phone it in.
Yeah. And we're not just trying to shit on later episodes like everyone else does. We are actually giving it a fucking go and putting research into it to find out sort of hidden subtleties that we might miss. So we are trying to find redeeming factors, and we do point them out when we find them. It's just, there's not many.
And we never did.
Alrighty, you can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube now as well.
Yeah, so if you don't have Instagram and we've been talking to you through the camera and you haven't been replying to us, everyone has YouTube, Boardman. Hit us up there, buddy.
Mitch will be back at some point in time in the next couple of months.
Maybe
with a speaking role next time. Zap.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Up, yours, children.